Hello, my name is Oscar Faulkner, and today I'm joined by Rhiannon White, CEO of 𝘃𝗶𝗱𝗄.
Hi.
𝘃𝗶𝗱 has become one of the leading apps in period and reproductive tracking. What gaps in women's health did you identify early on that shaped the product's direction?
Well, just first I'd love to say thank you for having me here today. It's a fantastic event. I'm really pleased to be here. Really the founding idea behind 𝘃𝗶𝗱 was that we have these supercomputers in our pockets, and yet women's health and female health is still very misunderstood, and even though we live in this biology every day, we're still often operating without actually a lot of understanding or knowledge about what we're doing. And really the idea behind the product is that tracking equals data, data equals insight, and insight equals agency. And so the product has evolved very naturally from giving women the ability to track, and as more and more women have done that, they've given us more and more pull around, can you do this, can you do that, can you add more life stages, can you help us understand our patterns more, can you add more content? So really it's developed into a female health platform following our users' needs.
What is the addressable market for digital women's health platforms like 𝘃𝗶𝗱?
The addressable market is very large. Sometimes people say to me, oh, women's health, isn't that a niche market? And I have to sort of stop and think how on earth anyone could think that about women's health. So obviously women are 51% of the population. If you take the addressable market of digital health platforms that really take menstrual health as the starting point, and that's important because actually the menstrual cycle is the base map of female health, right? So the hormones that regulate our menstrual cycle interact with everything else in our health, and everything else there interacts as well. So if you look at WHO data, there's around 1.9 billion women in the world of menstruating age at any point in time, and so that's the total addressable market. And then when you can make it a little bit smaller if you like, in terms of if you take China out of the equation, but we're still talking, because they have a very strong homegrown product that is very dominant there, we're talking about roughly a billion women at any point in time who could find value in a product like ours. And of course it's a biologically determined TAM, right? So as people move through that, there's a first period and a last, but that's a very long period of time, and there are always more people coming into that market.
As digital health continues to attract investment, what makes 𝘃𝗶𝗱 an appealing opportunity for investors interested in femtech and preventative care?
I think the area and the category is very appealing because of the size of the addressable market and because it is a biologically determined addressable market. So it's not going away at any point in time. You know, these problems have always needed to be solved for women, and they will always need to be solved. So that in itself is the very first thing that makes it very appealing. The second thing that makes it appealing is the sheer lack of investment in female health for a long time, which means that the data just isn't there. And so when women are interested in tools like ours that help them build their own data sets, that creates an enormous store of value, both for the women and for the healthcare systems and for research, and therefore that's a strong value driver. And then the third thing that makes it often appealing is that fundamentally we build brilliant consumer experiences that are really engaging and sticky and drive loyalty over a very long period of time. And that is always something that investors look for.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.